Hello everybody, E here. Welcome to 31 Days of Halloween. Today we are reviewing Queen of Teeth by Hailey Piper. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Are you against the grinding machinery of capitalism? Are you against the grinding galactic teeth of an interdimensional entity that wants to feast on your entire life? Of course you are. Then this autumn give yourself the gift of cosmic horror with Kyle Winkler's The Nothing That Is, a novella that Keelan Patrick Burke has said reads like Anthony Bourdain riffing on Lovecraft. It's 1986. Cade McCall is an assistant manager for Starboard Catering Services in southwestern Indiana. Driving to work one morning, part of the local graveyard explodes. Later the same day, Cade gets an odd message from a client who needs catering for an extreme food club. He calls himself Mr. Dinosaur, and he's paying $11,000. Despite Cade's reservations, he takes the gig, although who's feeding whom is another question entirely. Involving an all-woman occult biker gang, embezzlement schemes, possessed furniture, and a full dose of cosmic horror, The Nothing That Is a novella for the encroaching autumn. Greasy middle managers getting their comeuppance, punk rock, John Mellencamp songs, handlebar mustaches, haunted vending machines, creepy libraries. Come for the stories, stay for the intergalactic evil. Available on Kindle Unlimited and in paperback.
Many thanks to Kyle Winkler for sponsoring today's video. Now let's just jump right into the review. Okay, so Queen of Teeth by Hailey Piper. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the year. I absolutely loved The Worm and His Kings, and Hailey was nice enough to send me the rest of her catalog, so I will be reviewing a short story collection and a couple of other novellas. This, as far as I know, is her first novel. The book is about Yolanda Betancourt, or Yaya. I think that's how it needs to be pronounced. Maybe Yaya. I don't know. I'm going to say Yaya for this review. Yaya is a woman who has been, I hope I get the tech right here, has been genetically modified by a system called SIBS, created by Alpha Beta Pharmaceuticals, or ABP for short. There's even a joke, throughout the entire book, I was calling it APB as an all points bulletin. In fact, there's even a joke in the book, an APB sent by ABP or something like that. It got a little confusing. That's my own fault. It has nothing to do with the actual book itself. I had a lot of fun with this book, especially right now with all of the discussion about Texas and women's rights. Those things, women not having control over their own bodies. I thought it was a very topical thing, and of course this was written way before that, but it's always been a discussion in our society about whether or not abortion is right or wrong, or whether or not women should have control of their own bodies. I, for one, believe they should, but that's beyond the point. What I'm most impressed about with this is I hate this term, but elevated horror. There is some tentacle porn in here. Yes, vagina tentacles. If you were a fan of my live streams back in the day, that used to be a running joke about vagina tentacles, because we'd always be talking about Tommy knockers, and it just inevitably would come up. The reason why I call this elevated horror is because it's very tastefully done. There is tentacle sex. It isn't porn. It isn't, well, I guess it's more of an erotica. And it's only one scene, but there are some other scenes that are very erotic. I felt a little weird getting turned on the way I did. I've read plenty of tentacle porn in my day, and it didn't do anything for me. But the way Hailey handled this, it was very classy. For the subject matter is the best way that I can put it. Now, the book is not erotica. It is definitely 100% horror. What has happened to Yaya in the book is her, this isn't a spoiler. She grows teeth in her vagina, and that just keeps escalating and escalating. If you're put off from this book because you saw the movie Teeth, this is all a whole new world. Yeah, something completely different. It is, it's not cyberpunk, but it is a dystopian landscape. Their Alpha Beta Pharmaceuticals is making your world a better place or something like that. That's their tagline, through genetic modifications. There is another character named Doc. I think her name's Docia Hall, Docia. I think that's how it's pronounced. But Doc and Yaya have a relationship very early on. It's a one-night stand. All this stuff is up front. I'm not going to spoil anything, further on in the book. I will say that the ending is absolutely fantastic. It is huge. It is epic. It is some of the most gnarly body horror I have ever read. Speaking of body horror, I once called Hailey Piper the closest you will ever come to Clive Barker in the indie small press community, and I will stick by my guns. There's some turns of phrases in here that are absolutely beautiful. In fact, I marked them. Let me get the book. I'm going to go through, I'm going to read you things that hopefully are not spoilers. I'm pretty sure they're not. This line really got to me. When you came for us with scissors, we weren't a person to you. Love that line, especially in context of the book. And then one more for you here on page 189. The flesh palace sprawled cavernous, a pulsating cathedral. Man, that's some anyways, I keep saying that Hailey Piper is the indie small press Clive Barker, but she really truly has her own voice. What I mean there is Hailey is able to give you visuals and with beautiful turns of phrase, makes the grotesque gorgeous. Does an absolutely fantastic job with just the writing. The writing in this book is fantastic, but the characters are great. I love Doc. I loved Yaya. I wanted the people who got hurt to get hurt. Well, there's one that I didn't want to see hurt, but it's all part of the character arcs here. And of course the dread, something big is coming, especially when you get to the halfway point in the book and they reference an earlier incident with one of the people who had SIBS. I think it's an implant, it's an injection or something like that. I'm not entirely sure on the text, so if I get anything wrong, I apologize. But as far as the pacing, this book blows right along. I was in a very, very bad place when in my own headspace when I read this book, and I had a blast. I was very emotionless, numb. I did a video on it. I'm coming out of it. Don't worry. As you can see, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like my old self. I'm coming back to you. Especially, I wanted to especially get back to this place to do this 30 Days of Halloween. Yeah, I know, puns, it's what I do. In Top 5 Friday, that's more alliterative, or Thursday Theorist. I like puns and things like that. Anyways, but I want to get back to this, especially since this book meant so much to me while I was reading, because it broke through that wall of numbness and made me have feelings for these characters. So again, the characters, the dread, the pacing, everything I look for in a horror novel is in this book, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you are into bizarre stuff, or if you are into dystopian landscapes, if you are into body horror, if you're into tentacle porn, if you're into any of these things, well done on an elevated level. Hailey Piper is 100% where it's at, and I can't wait to get into more of her work. But if you read Queen of Teeth or anything else by Hailey Piper, let me know down there in the doobly-doo what you thought of it or them or anything, whether or not you loved it, whether or not you hated it, whether or not you felt meh about it. But if you felt any of those things, let me know why you felt those things in detail so that we can have a discussion. But until next time, I have been E, you have been you. This has been the first episode of 30 Days of Halloween. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!